Hey, Manny.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's going on?
Chilling like the villain. Maxing on the villain.
All right. How's everything today? How did they go? Were you able to finish putting together the pin?
Yes, I was. And it was submitted and just waiting for the agent to get in contact with me tomorrow.
Good. One of the things that I normally do when I put a pin together also is I kind of like, have just a quick chat with the agent to let them know, what to expect, what's coming up, stuff like that. Just so
I did have a conversation. Yeah, I did have a conversation with her too. Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
So at least that way, they're expecting, and you get a good feel for them, to kind of like give you like a heads up on how they may react or not react or what they'll do and stuff like that. So I want to try and make this meeting, and I know I say that all the time now, for 30 minutes. So if anybody joins us, awesome, but let's focus on what is it that you need. You here. So let's focus on what you need. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about this real quick, this representation that I'm slightly okay. You got somebody saying, hey Jimmy, the link for the meeting is still working?
Yes.
Jettison?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, you might want to resend it to him. Yeah. So yeah.
Go on, I'm listening.
I just saw
if I can find a way to.
So I picked up a new. I haven't done a rental just yet. Most of them have been purchasing. All three have been purchasing.
Okay.
So in the contract in the representation form, it says.
Hello, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, number 7, broker's compensation.
Okay.
A, compensation to be paid by buyer in the event of sale or lease. The compensation should be paid by buyer to the broker shall be, and this is what I have. My fee to be paid by the buyer, a minimum of 30% of the monthly lease, or as listed by MLS per listing brokerage.
Right.
Then there's another spot
down
at the bottom. It says the same thing. It's redundant. In the event a lease is executed, the compensation due to the broker should be paid as follows. I just copied the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Hello. Jettison.
How you doing, Jay? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Sorry, I was having problems with the link. It wasn't letting me in.
It's the same link, but you were able to get in though, right?
Yeah, I was able to. It finally asked me for. It usually asks me for fill on your first name, last name, and then email address. But at the beginning, it wasn't asking me for that. It was just saying waiting for host to start meeting.
It's the same. It's the same link.
Gotcha.
I'll resend it again to everybody again after, but it's the same one.
Okay.
In there, yeah.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Manny, the rental, it's the exact same thing. It's no different from what you do for a buyer, right? It's the same thing. So you always want to say, what is it that the minimum that you want to get paid? So on a rental, I really don't do a lot of rentals. I do rentals as a matter of necessity, to help my clients out. But yeah, so you put it on there, the same thing. If it's 25% minimum, you won't get paid, 30%, 40%, 50%. Standard, whatever it's in the MLS, like typically is usually maybe about 35 or 40%. So yeah, you do it like that, say 40% minimum or as listed in the MLS. And if you're charging that flat admin fee, put that on there as well and make that standard. Usually will be paid by the seller or the landlord, but in case, again, you run across one that is not, that's why you want to put that on there so the buyer knows that you're not working for free.
You got a third one trying to get in, Jimmy.
Someone's trying to get in?
Yeah.
Sharice is in and Jay is in.
Yeah, they're saying the same thing I was saying at the beginning.
Yeah, they just said that.
Can someone resend the link? Okay. Now, now where do I find the link? Okay, let me see if I can generate.
Just try again that same thing I was getting because I was stuck on waiting for host to start the meeting.
Wow. Okay.
Here, let me send you the link. Let me just text you a copy of the link.
Yeah. You just put it in the chat.
I just did.
Okay.
You see, guys?
Because I don't have a way of once I send. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, they just need to. Everybody
Let's
just needs to go into
Let's
that.
see if they can just click on that.
Yeah. If they click. Okay. There you go.
There you go. It's starting to come on.
So that was me that clicked in. But it's just to show the exact same thing. So that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
There you go. They just need to click on that link and everybody will be able to get it.
Oh,
All right. So
I need to hang up.
sorry about that. Okay. So if everybody just if they start clicking on that link, they'll be able to get in. The one that you just sent. So yes, so that's perfect. Thanks for sending that. Yeah, because I normally would once I send it out, I don't even go back and check it. So so does that answer your question, Manny?
Yes, it does answer my question. Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. Sharice, welcome aboard. Destiny, welcome aboard. Give me 1 second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 quick second.
Hello, ladies.
Hey, how are you?
Hello,
Doing
Manny.
well. Hey, how you feeling? How you been?
So what's going on in y'all's business? Let's talk. Sharice, Destiny, Jay, what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Well, as you know, Jimmy, I'm getting ready to close on the 30th. So it's kind of exciting and stressful at the same time. But
Awesome.
I definitely learned a lot with this first transaction, especially I think the main thing that pretty much got me is finding all the paperwork and putting it together. But I feel like it's just going to be repetition over time.
Correct. So that becomes your template. One of the things that I do is just to, since we're talking about that, just real quick, let me go and let me show you one of the few things that I do personally. If I can find a screen to share, let me just take this screen to share this screen. What I normally do is, tell me if you guys can see, are you seeing my zip forms?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So one of the things that I do is, again, Destiny is you're just gonna it's gonna be rinse and repeat. So the templates, the files that you've got to put together, if you go into your zip forms, create for yourself templates so you can replicate all of your templates. So as you can see here, I've got tons of templates. I've got blank rental templates for Montgomery County. I've got blank rental templates from MAR forms. I created these blank ones because I normally will send it out to any one of you guys. If you guys say to me, hey, Jimmy, can you just get me forms? You know, that's why I did the blank ones. So those are not typically what I use. The ones that I use will have things like MD Charles County on there, DC listing, you know, it's gonna have GB listing docs, you know. So I have documents already created, contract offer checklist, Maryland listing with G-card docs. So you can actually go in and create documents that you will use as a template, whether it's for listing and purchases. So once you create all of those and they're just sitting in there. Now, let's say I just get a client, someone just called me and say, hey, Jimmy, I want to buy a house or whatever. And it's easy for me to put it together. Now I go into transactions. If it's a listing, I click on listing. Then I can say, I'm gonna say Destiny is my client, right? And because you can use name, I'm just gonna say Destiny seller, right? And I say it's a residential. Then I can apply what templates I want to use. If I want to use, because I already created templates. If I want to use the Maryland Association of Realtors, I can just click on that. And then I tell it to save it. So it's going to just create a new file for me, and then it's going to apply, you know, the templates I already have in there. So now I can go there easily and, you know, put the parties in there. If I go into the documents, you're going to see all the documents already in there. So
Oh, that's actually easier. So as far as like the templates, if you were to send it to us, like it would automatically have all those contracts there, like those documents.
it will.
Oh, okay.
So if I send you that as a blank one, it's just going to be blank, right? So, but at least it gives you, so you know what documents you need.
Yeah, because that was pretty much my biggest concern, like knowing like what documents I would need for each transaction. But this makes complete sense.
Yeah, I have recordings that I already did as well that I put on my YouTube channel for things like this. But I'm probably just gonna redo some of these videos because I want to do them like maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes most, that I'm gonna post on the YouTube channel, so it's a lot easier and cleaner that you guys can go in there. It's probably just gonna be me just talking through it, so there's no one else, right? So that way it's easier, it's more informational, as opposed to, you know, something that could take you away from focusing. But yes, this is what you do. So I create that, and you can just apply that template, and then you can now go into it. Just like a quick recap. So the first thing I do is, once you create that deal, then I go into parties, right? And I can say, because I'm representing the seller, because we're trying to list this out. So I go into a sell side, right? And I can put seller one. So again, the seller one in this situation, I used you, I said Destiny seller, right? So you just do that, Destiny, and last name is seller. I'm gonna need their email, so I'm gonna put email on there, you know, for this client. So I'm just gonna say Destiny at gmail.com. Phone number, let's just use, doesn't matter, I'm just gonna put a phone number in there. So you do that, you put the address on there for the property, you can do that as well. So that way it takes all the information that you want, it just puts it right there, makes it really easy, and you save that. So that seller's information is on there. Then who else will be in this? If I'm doing if we're going to use a particular title company, there's one already here, so I'll leave that there. So we have that title company that in there. If there's a warranty company, I'll add that to it. So I just click service providers, and I can find own warranty company. I can add that to it as well. I'm gonna go into my address book just to pick one. Let's see. Nope. Okay, there you go. I did have one in there. So I pick that, I click it on there, and they saved. So now I have everything that I need, but I want to make sure I'm there as well. You know, you want to put the listing agent's information in there, right? So sell side, listing agent is me. You want to add that to it, just want to make sure you put that in there. So that way it eliminates the amount of things that you have to retype and all that kind of stuff. Some of this information is old. It still has Chris's information on there. Chris is no longer the broker here. Then that's correct. Then it's md.broker@exprealty.net is your email address. So I can save that. So now all of this information is there. Now I go into my documents. As a matter of practice, what I love to do is the very first document that I put on there is going to be here. I just need to find it. This is already merged together. But the first document I always want to do is the cover sheet. The reason why you want to do the cover sheet is if you put the information in the cover sheet, you don't have to repeat those information again. It's going to be there. So now I have the seller's information, I have the listing agent's information, and that's it. Now, if I go, once this is there, if I need to change anything, I change it here. Whatever information I need to put in there, I put in there. Once it's all there, if I want to send you this document, understanding whom real estate agents represent, for some weird reason, this document, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it never ever catches for the first time. I don't know why, but it always, for some reason, happens. But in any case, once you type all of that in, the understanding just for some reason doesn't do it. But once you put all that information in there, now you can now go in and start, putting the paperwork together. So this makes it easy for you to now send every single thing to your client. eXp Realty, your name is put on there, you represent the seller, boom, and then you put the seller's name on there. For some reason, like I said, this never just, I don't know why. But after you do this first one, everything else works. It baffles me. But so that's it. So that's how you can easily just, put all your documents together and you're able to start working things through. Any questions?
No, I got a comment. Now, for some reason, I've been working with another agent from EXP, but he doesn't have the same association as I do, which is GCAR.
Okay.
He has something else which doesn't give him the full library contact in zip forms.
Right.
So we have been using SkySlope.
Good.
So I just want get people to know that if you don't have all your
recording in progress.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave off the one phone. I'm leaving off this one and I'm coming in. Right,
no problem. Yeah.
So just be aware, if you don't have all your documents, a lot of those documents that you don't see there will be in SkySlope as well.
Yes. So one thing to remember is just like Manny said, because GCAR is a little bit more expensive. So if you don't have GCAR, or not necessarily a little bit more expensive, which it is, but some agents prefer to, maybe they do a lot of business in, say, Howard County, for example, they can join HCAR. Some do a lot more business in PG. They don't want to, they don't want to do business or don't really care for Montgomery County or whatever. So they join PG car, so you can, you do that. But you can still get all of your forms. Either you get it in SkySlope, which is actually the best way now for you to get it, or you can actually get it from your NAR.org, your National Association of Realtors, or you can get it from the Trello board. There's so there are other places that you can get your forms. So now let's look at SkySlope, for example. If you're getting your forms in SkySlope, right? Can you all see my SkySlope?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can come into SkySlope. If you go right here where it says apps, the dots on that side, and you see forms. This is actually where everything is transitioning to. And this is actually the best way, really and truly, for you to get it, because what EXP again is doing, part of what you're paying the $85 monthly for, is to create an atmosphere where you can go to and get all of their forms. So you don't have to start paying all this unnecessary money for all different associations, which is a great thing. So that's where the whole thing is going to. So you can come here and there's this button over here that says create. So you can create your own templates. You can create a template. Now, let's say you don't even have the form here. You can import the form. So like those blank forms I was talking about, you can import those blank forms if you want to. But if you do everything here, it's so much easier. So you don't have to go outside. You can actually start the entire process here and spend time here, do everything, create all the documents, and shoot it out to your clients. So that's another great way. And this is exactly what Manny is talking about. So you can create all your forms here. You can create your templates here. You can actually create a deal from beginning to end right here as well. So that's really awesome, just for you to remember that. So don't forget. It even tells if you don't have a property yet, you can, you can import everything from the MLS data.
So, Jimmy, I actually have two questions.
Yes.
So for a seller, are you still using the same documents as you would for a buyer? Because I don't think you would, but I just want to clarify.
No, your seller documents are different from your buyer documents. The only things that will be the same in your seller and buyer documents will be understanding whom real estate agents represent is standard. Consent is standard. So you're going to need it for all of them. I, as a matter of practice, so I don't ever forget, and I can never be in a position where someone is going to say, as a matter of practice, that Jimmy did not give me this document or that document. So as a matter of practice for me, I always include in every single one of my, whether I'm representing the buyer or the seller, I always include NAR equal housing. I always include lead in your homes, the pamphlet. I always include that, get a home inspection. I always include that. So standard documents, I always include that for whichever side. It doesn't matter. It's just as a matter of practice for me, I do that. But it's two different documents, yes. Does that answer your question, or did I confuse you?
Yes. Yeah, that definitely answers my question. I just wanted to verify. And then how do you go about finding your clients? Like what are you doing to do that?
Good. So let's brainstorm. How do you get clients? Does anybody want to take a stab at it?
I'll take a stab at it, but before I take a stab at it, I want to go back to Destiny's question about what forms to use.
Okay.
Destiny, do you know where to find those forms that you're going to need for a listing presentation?
Yeah, the forms are on zip forms.
Okay. There's a way that you could change it in zip forms and just do it as a list, a listing checklist and so forth. I would suggest, I played with a listing in SkySlope today, and it just like mind boggled me that it actually asks a lot of questions, and then it just automatically generated some documents for me, which was awesome. I was very impressed with that system. So
You said on SkySlope?
yeah, I would just play with it. We'll just play with it, and don't be scared. It's not
Don't
gonna
be
be a
scared of the
transaction
system.
that
You can't break it. You cannot break SkySlope. If you start in SkySlope and it's going to tell you what documents you need. Let's actually, before we go in for, why don't we just do that? Let's just pretend, right?
Yeah.
Let's even forget. Let's just go here. So can you see my SkySlope now?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's say you want to create a listing, right? You have one here that says create transaction. That's for your buyers. If you represent the buyer. For listing is right here, create a listing. You click on create a listing and it walks you right through it. And it will tell you when you get to what kind of form. You can do it right here. You can do it by address lookup, or you can do it with forms. If you click on the forms, it's going to take you right into the forms, and it's going to give you an idea what kind of forms you need. If you do it by address lookup, which most agents usually do, let's go right here, boom. You can just start typing, very intuitive. The moment you start typing, it's going to start bringing up addresses, boom. That's someone's address that I've done a deal before, boom. It says, let's go. So it walks you through everything. Where is it? Maryland, boom, yes. Next question. Is it a rental listing? Is it a residential listing? Residential listing. Next question. How much do you want to sell it for? Boom. You put that in there. Question. So it's very intuitive and you can never break it. And when you go through all of this, once you go through all of this, when is the listing going to be active? Then when is it going to expire? A year from now or whatever? Boom. Next.
Hey, Jimmy, I have a question. For the commission amount. So why do from what I've seen, there's a lot of agents do 2.5, and then I've also seen some 3% commissions. Like, how do you determine what you want to do for that?
So if I'm representing the seller, I go and do the work. If I'm doing the work, I found a listing, I worked hard to generate that listing, which is the next thing we want to talk about. It might be a referral, it might be because I went door knocking, whatever the case is. So I sat in front of you, I convinced you to sell your house, I convinced you to list with me. After this whole conversation, I told you my listing is going to be 7%. However, because I like you so much, or for whatever reason, I'm cutting you a break, I'm doing it for 6%, and I'm charging a $6.95 flat fee. And end of conversation, I said to me, okay, sure, not a problem. I'll sign up for that. The moment I did all of that, for me, my incentive is I'm going to do a lot of work on this deal. So I'm going to pay the agent that brings the buyer 2.5%. I'm not paying them 3%. I'm not paying them 3.5%. I'm paying them 2.5%. That's the reason why, and a lot of agents probably won't say this, but is the reality, is the truth. You went out to go do the work to find a client. You owe it to yourself to get the lion's share of the deal. It's the truth. A lot of agents are not going to say that, but yes, if it's a 6% listing, I'm taking 3.5%, and I'm giving the buyer's agent 2.5%. Worst case scenario, I can maybe go half and half. I can take 3% and pay them 3%, depending on what kind of marketing I want to do, or depending on if I think it's a little bit more harder to sell for whatever reason. Yeah, I might want to pay that other agent the same thing I'm paying myself, but I'm not going to pay the buyer's agent more than I'm paying myself. And the other reason for me mainly is I don't, even if I take a 5% listing, I will never pay a buyer's agent 2%. We are either going to go 2.5, 2.5, and I've actually done listings that I paid the other agent 2.5 and I only paid myself 2% because the seller was like, no, I'm not going to do, I'm only going to do a 4.5% listing. Well, if it's a 4.5% listing, I want the agent on the other side to bring me a buyer and I want it done quickly. So I'll do that. I'll pay them 2.5 and I'll take 2%. It's not always about the money, but it's always about your reputation. So that's the one aspect for me. But that's how I come up with that. That's how the industry comes up with it. The listing agent controls the market. Whoever controls the listing controls the market. Whoever controls the inventory controls the market. So you want to go after listings. And that is how you can determine how much you get paid. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so it's basically like on each case by case scenario, like basically depending on the situation.
Yes and no. For me, if I'm yes in that aspect, but the amount that I charge on a listing, I get to control it because I'm the one going, after the listing. Yes.
So what is your standard like percentage? Like what's your standard? Just in general, like what do you normally aim for? Do you aim for 5 or a 6?
My listings are 6%.
Got it. Okay.
6% listing is always what my listing is. Now, if a seller says to me, why should I pay you? And we're going back and forth and they want to argue about it and they don't want to pay that, or because someone else has already told them they're going to do a 3% listing or whatever, now it's incumbent upon me to justify why I'm doing what I'm doing. But if I cannot, get them to agree to a 6%, yeah, we can do a 5%, we can do a 5.5%, but my standard is 6%. And what out of that 6% is how both sides get paid, but the listing agent tends to keep the highest percentage.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. So now, how do we get listing, Manny?
Prospecting. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, prospecting, utilizing your social media, utilizing KV Core, utilizing your home snap, calling your contacts.
So let's break that down. Let's take two things, for example, that you just talked about. Especially, let's talk about home snap. How can you use home snap to generate leads? How can you make home snap to work for you? Is everybody on this call aware, or do they know what home snap is that Manny just mentioned?
I heard of it, but I haven't signed up for it. I don't think I did.
Yes, Manny helped me sign up for it.
Okay. Home snap is free to you. Sharice, go on.
I was going to say yes and no. I signed up for it, but I don't know its full capabilities.
Okay. Home snap is free to you. You have it. Matter of fact, on my phone, I have the Home Snap app. I said app. The Home Snap app. And with the Home Snap app, it's such a vital, awesome tool that you can use. You can actually promote yourself on Home Snap. You can put your, once you sign up and you start using this, it's phenomenal. You can be in a neighborhood that you're showing a property to a client. And up over here on this side, there's a camera lens there, right? Right on the top. If you click on that camera, it opens that up. Do you see that? You can take a picture of a property that you're standing in front of, and it will give you an idea of what that property is, whether it's off market, what the valuation is roughly, things like that. It's a phenomenal tool that you could use to impress your clients, but most importantly, you're in a neighborhood canvassing and you take a picture of that property. It gives you an idea. You can say, okay, maybe let me go knock on that door. There's a lot of activity in this neighborhood, and you can have a conversation with the homeowner if they open the door. Do you know that a lot of houses are selling in your neighborhood? Are you thinking about selling? Do you know that, roughly this is what your house is going for? Roughly you can make, and we can even, depending on what kind of renovations you've done inside your house, the value for your property might even be more. So HomeSnap is a tool that you can use to canvass a neighborhood. It's a tool that you can use not only to know the valuation, but also to know the sales score of the people in that neighborhood. Are they thinking of selling? Is there the probability of selling? You can do an instant CMA in your HomeSnap to give an idea to a potential seller, or even to a buyer. So HomeSnap is a great tool for you to be able to canvass a neighborhood, for you to be able to get listings. So in particular, talking about how do you, generate leads, that is one way that Manny talked about that is very specific and very unique. How else would you use HomeSnap if you were using it, Manny, or anybody else?
I invite my entire contact list to utilize that app.
Exactly. You have a client that they're looking for homes, or they're on your drip campaign. You can just invite them into that HomeSnap. You can invite them to look at listings. You can send that information to them and say, hey, have you seen this particular house? I was just showing this house to someone in the neighborhood, and I know you and I talked about the range you want to be, or the range that you were pre-qualified for. What about this house? It allows you to just stay engaged. It allows your client to be aware that you are very adept at what's going on in the market, that you're constantly thinking about them, and it makes you stand out. So that's one way HomeSnap can be used. That's another way HomeSnap can be used. Another way you can generate leads or look for leads. I was having a conversation with people, I think I mentioned this earlier on today. In your neighborhood, why not take a walk around your neighborhood and engage and have conversations with people? Use that HomeSnap app, snap pictures. One of the things that HomeSnap even does for me is this, and this is a conversation starter all the time. You bring your HomeSnap app out and you taking pictures. I guarantee if someone's at home, they'll come out like, hey, what's going on? Why are you taking pictures of my home? It happens to me all the time. Why are you taking pictures of my house? Oh, so sorry. No. Then boom, I get into a conversation. What happened really is I've got like 5 clients that are looking for houses to buy in this neighborhood. So I just want to be sure if this is their price range. What's the house? What's my price range? What's my house worth? Conversation starter. You talk less at that point. Now they're asking you questions. Begin to answer their questions. Strike a relational conversation with them, and then the next thing you know, they're saying to you, well, put me down, send me reports, because now you start showing them value. Well, you can even, to make someone feel good, you can be like, oh yeah, the value for your neighbor is like 560. I think it's a little bit too much for my client, or depending on how you want to make them feel, you can say to them, oh my gosh, yeah, your value is like 560. My client is only approved for $500,000. So it might be, your neighborhood is really good. It might be a little bit more, but I do have other clients that might be interested in, or whatever the case is, conversation. And then you can say to them, do you know anybody in another neighborhood in the $500,000 range? You're trying to fish and get them to give you information. Then you can say to them, since yours in the 560, it might even be worth more. I can give you a free market analysis. Give me your email address and I'll send you the information. You can opt out at any point you want to, but I would love to send you free information at any point in time. That way you get their information and boom, that's it. Also, download your own EXP Realty app, personal app. Does anybody know what that is? Your EXP Realty personal app that people can use to search for homes.
Are you talking about the website?
Yes, it links
Okay,
them.
yes, I did that.
So it's always going to be your first name, your last name, .exprealty.com/app.php. So jbetancourt.exprealty.com/app.php. But you can go into your KV code, you can see exactly the way it is, because if you're like me, your name could be longer. And so you want to make sure that you're giving the correct name, and you can just click on it and it's going to show up. It's going to show, it's called millions map. So you always give that. When I started in this business, when I came to EXP, let me put it that way. When I started with EXP, that was one way I was generating a ton of leads. I can just meet someone at Starbucks and I'm having a conversation and I just say to them, hey, I don't have my business card on me, but let me text you my free mobile app. It's a way for you to have me at your fingertips. So if you're in a neighborhood, you're just shopping, or you're in a neighborhood, you want to find out what the house is worth, or if this is the neighborhood that you like, you want to live in there. If you download my free mobile app and you click on it, you can search and it's going to tell you every single thing that is in that neighborhood that is for sale. And if you see anything you like, you can communicate with me right there and there. You can ask me questions about it. You can tell me you want us to schedule a showing. You can do anything you want to without picking up the phone to call me. And it does, because when they do that, it alerts you. If you set up your alerts, it alerts you that client such and such just looked at a certain property. Client such and such has looked at this property 5 times. Client such and such clicked on the property and they favored that property. They say they love it, or they want to schedule a showing. All of those things are possible. You are with a technology company that is abundant, in resources of what you could do that will make your business life so easy and make you extremely productive and make you look like the hero every single time. Any other way? Anybody wants to talk about? Hello, guys. Did I lose you all?
No,
Yes.
I'm here. I just don't know.
Okay, Jimmy, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You sent me a listing that you had just listed, and I often hear you say, you can repost the listing. How do we do that and not include your information on it, or anybody's information that has sent out something that is just listed?
Very easy. So with EXP Realty, because you're part of EXP, you can advertise anybody's listing in EXP. You automatically have the ability to. You can reach out to the agent and say, hey, can I post your property? Can I boost your property? They're gonna tell you 9 out of 10 times with EXP agents, they say, absolutely, go right ahead. Sometimes you really truly don't even necessarily need to ask them. Especially if we're in the same team, if we're here, for me, I'm gonna say it this way. Whether you're part of my team or not, if you see any of my listing, you can use it at any point in time. But this is how you do it. So can you guys see my KV core and you see the way it says property listings?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, I take this listing. Let's just take this listing, just a random listing, right? I can take this listing and I can go and I can boost this listing. I can send it as an email. I can make it look like, I can clip it and post it on social media and share it on social media and do anything I want to do with this listing, for example. So You can see it says 733 Winona Drive, right?
Mhm.
This is in Pennsylvania, but it could be any. It's an EXP listing. When you go to the right, it says more actions. You click that more actions and it drops down, right? I can send it as a text. I can email it. I can generate a QR code for it and put it on my social media. I could post this straight to Facebook. So when I click on post to Facebook, it's gonna come up, blah, blah, blah. Then it links to my Facebook. And this is my Facebook page, right? Now, look at what it, can you all see this?
Yeah.
This is why you are with eXp Realty. This is what's gonna make you super successful. These are the things that I used to do. And these are the things that you need to constantly keep doing. So the moment I click on this and it goes to my Facebook page, what does it say at the bottom? jimmyokonola.exprealty.com. Nobody's asking you any questions. Anybody that sees this on my Facebook page is gonna think this is my house that I have a listing for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it says at the top, say something. So I could go in there like, awesome new listing. I'm actually gonna post this live, then I'm gonna go back and delete it. Awesome new listing in Auburn, PA, right? Then I could say something like great price, great value under 300 grand, whatever, anything that is catchy, right? I put all that in there and I can say something like hashtag amazing DMV. I'm doing two things by doing this. AmazingDMVHomes.com, right? Hashtag Jimmy O, hashtag DMV living, anything like that, because some of these hashtags, they're already trending, right? So the more of those things you put in there, it actually will kind of like, it will drag people who visit those areas. It will drag them towards you as well. So I do all of this. I can put it on my newsfeed. I can put it on my story. I'm not going to do my story because I'm not that tech savvy. It's going to be harder for me to delete it. But you can do it on those two places, right? You can put whatever, you can put hashtag call me now, hashtag ask me how to get into this home today. You do all of those things, and you put it on there. Two things, before I post this, two things to let you know. The moment anybody clicks on this listing, once I post it, it's going to take them straight to my website. And the moment they get on my website and they're looking at other homes, KVCore is going to snag them, is going to capture them, and now is going to start dripping them because they looked at this house, and it's going to start dripping them similar properties in that price range, in that neighborhood. It's incumbent upon you when KVCore now alerts you and says, this client is looking at this is going on, for you to go in there and reach out to that client. Pick up the phone and call them. Hey, Jason, I saw you were looking at my website. Thank you for checking in. Is everything cool? Do you have any particular questions? Is there something? Does that particular house meet your needs? Do you want me to expand the search? By the way, have you been pre-qualified yet? No, you haven't? Let me connect you to the lender. What's your time frame? I've got one of the best lenders in the market. Once we get you pre-approved, it's guaranteed you can buy a house. Conversation starters. That's how you generate leads. Second thing, all this hashtags and stuff that I put on there, if anybody clicks on this, I'm leaving DMV, is going to land them on my website. So just to show you this, what we're going to do, let me move this thing out of the way because I need to be able to. So I'm going to post it onto Facebook. And it's going to tell me once it's posted, then we're going to go to my Facebook page. Now, what I just posted now, I posted it to my personal page, not my business page. It's going to my Facebook personal page. Now let me go and open Facebook. So now let's log into Facebook and see what just happened. So this is Facebook, right? Now, this is my personal page that I'm just clicked on. This is my personal page. What I just posted now is right here underneath my mom. God rest her soul. So I go over here now. You can see this is my page, right? This is the property I just put on there. It says Jimmy Okinola. If I click on this amazing, can you guys see my Facebook page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
If I click on Amazing DMV Homes, it's going to take them to my website. That didn't work. I don't know what happened there, but sorry.
It's not spelled right.
Yeah, I didn't. It's Amazing DMV Homes. I did Amazing Home. Oh, sorry. But that's what would have happened. We're taking them straight to my website. If I click on Jimmy O, it takes them to Jimmy's website. On anything that Jimmy has been posting, you know, I don't know who this are, but anything that is tagged that says Jimmy O on there. Now, I don't even know who this Jimmy O is, right? But guess what? What I just posted will be dragged on whatever they're watching. So they might be reading these flicks for fans and they come across this listing. And the next thing they know is they're talking about, this guy. People get curious. And then the next thing, they're clicking on this image and it's landing them on my website. If I click on the image itself in Facebook, this is what it does. It brings them to my website. That was not my listing, but it brought them to my website. You can see right here, Amazing DMV Homes Realty. He has my phone number on there. This is my website. Contact me now. They can contact me. They don't feel like contact, they can see my picture. They can read about my bio at the bottom. If they go all the way at the bottom, they can see properties that I've listed. They can see what clients have said about me. These are the things that attract them. They can now say, you know what, let me search more listings. The moment they keep searching, the moment they spend more than clicking on two things, it's going to say to them, register. It's going to capture their information. And this is how you continue to get clients being dragged into your KV core. How does that sound?
Fantastic.
Good.
Awesome.
These are the kind of things that you do. So, Sharice, did that answer your question specifically about, you know, grabbing a listing on KV Core from, you know, EXP, and then you can blast this thing out?
Yes, definitely. And I had another question. So Amazing DMV Homes, is that what you named your business, or is that like your investment side?
That's my LLC. I have two LLCs. I have Amazing DMV Realty. That's what I use for my real estate as an EXP. Then I have Amazing DMV Ventures. That's my investment side. But I have an LLC and I chose to brand myself that way to make sure I have also a website created for that. But what you will notice also is this. With my Amazing DMV Realty Homes, it looks exactly the same thing as my regular Jimmy Okinola.exprealty.com. So the way I had it integrated, they're always landing on the same page and they don't know. So whether they put Jimmy Okinola.exprealty.com or they did Amazing DMV homes.com, they're gonna land on the same page. They're two separate websites, but they will land on the same place, and then everything will go right into KV Core.
How do you go about getting that done, or getting permission to use a different name as you?
EXP allows you to brand yourself any which way you want to. So because matter of fact, I don't even get paid as Jimmy Okinola from any of my settlements. I get paid through my company. So everything is set up as my LLC. So what you need to do is you can do this yourself. You apply for the EIN number, you can do all of this. You can go to Baltimore, you register your business, you do all of those in an LLC. Once all of that is registered, all you do is you submit the paperwork to EXP's transaction, and you tell them, this is how I want to get paid. I want everything to be paid through my LLC. So they'll cut your check, they do everything through your LLC.
What's the benefit of
Wait,
doing
Jimmy.
Benefit is you're a business, you're an entity. I tend to, let me use a better word. I tend to protect myself from liabilities by making sure that my exposure, if someone wants to sue me or anything like that, for example, they can't really, it's harder for them to sue Jimmy Okonola because Jimmy Okonola is an employee of Amazing DMV Homes. Amazing DMV Homes is an LLC. Try suing an LLC, try suing a business. It's a little bit harder if you have it set up right.
Jimmy, I have a question about the LLC. So I have my LLC for my company and I switched everything over on EXP. So would the check be in my company's like LLC name or would it be in my name?
As long as you tell EXP the way however you want to get paid, yes. If you tell EXP you want to get paid through your LLC, that's how they'll pay you, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's better for you tax-wise as well, yes.
Yeah, it is better. And another question I have is why did you create two separate LLCs? Because I know one is for like your real estate agent and then the other one's for like investment, and I'm kind of doing the same thing. But why did you create like two separate LLCs for that?
If I'd known when I did it, I really wouldn't have even done the Amazing DMV Homes Realty. I would have just done everything ventures. Yes, because I'm paying too much taxes by even doing those two, but I would have done everything ventures. But to answer the direct question why is because the mistake that I made was the first LLC that I registered when I came into real estate was the Amazing DMV Realty Homes, right? Amazing DMV Homes Realty, sorry. So the disadvantage of that is, for example, if I want to go and do certain things, banks don't want to loan money to me or to my company because it's the realty, right? So they can consider that it's too much of a high risk. So they don't want to loan money to it because, and also some things get a little bit harder to do because is the real estate, right? Now, my Amazing DMV Ventures, I decided because things got a little bit, and because when I've created this back in 2018, the DMV Homes. When I did that in 2018, some of the things changed, so I couldn't really get some, like if I go to a bank, I'm gonna get a loan, they don't want to do it, even though I have a bank account and all that for it, but they don't want to do it because they're like, instantly they're saying, oh, this is real estate. No, we don't want to do it. Or no, we're not doing it because we already have people that we partner with, all that kind of stuff. So it limited me. So I decided to now form, like 6 months later, I formed the Amazing DMV Ventures. So when I did the ventures, I got it registered Dun & Bradstreet. So I have my Dun & Bradstreet number. I have all of those things. So now I walk into banks and I say, okay, Amazing DMV Ventures needs a loan for something. Amazing DMV Ventures wants to do this. And they look at it as, let's actually can we do a JV? Can we do a joint venture with you? Can we, because now they're no longer thinking and they're no longer looking at me as I'm all about real estate. I don't know why, it's a play of words, but it's a lot better for me because it's a venture. It's an investment company. So now they don't look at me as a bigger liability as they would as a real estate company. And then I'm able to have my Dun & Bradstreet number. I'm able to, get credit for the ventures, So all of that kind of stuff, it's a lot easier with a venture than it was, or with a name, any name that doesn't say real estate, because that's what they're thinking. The moment they see realty, Amazing DMV Homes, oh, he's a real estate agent. He's a real estate agent. So they want to like get away from you. So yeah, crazy.
Wow, I wish I would have known that because I put my last name and I put Holmes.
That's
man.
yeah, that's one of the things too that I, yes. So, but I mean, the thing is, all you do, talk to a good tax person, a CPA. They can help you figure out ways to change it, or to, to open another venture and put that one underneath, or whatever the case is. There's so many different ways that you can do it, and you do it right and you do it legally. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Did I answer all the questions in reference to these things, or did I skip on anything? Sharice, did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you. Are you gonna go back to the seller, or setting up the, you were working on the example for a listing?
Oh, for how to create a listing?
Yes.
I'm gonna do a different. I'm gonna do a better video. But
Okay.
going back to it, to create a listing in SkySlope, right? Because that was what we were, right? You're talking about this, right? That we're creating in SkySlope, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now that you put all this stuff in there, then you go to create my listing, and it instantly goes and it creates all your listing. Now, the only thing is, the way I did this one, because I did it by the address, it's just going to tell me the documents that I need. So now I have to go create custom templates. See what it did now at the bottom? Do you see that? It told me to create a custom template. So now I can just go in and open that. Now I can create my template right here. So I don't need to ever get out now to go to Zip Forms any longer. So I can actually create my custom templates right here. Boom, create a new file. Representing seller, and my client is a company or trust. If it's not, boom, we start with what was saying fine. And it's easy. It tells you every single thing. You can just go, you can add the contact. If the contact is already in your name, you can look them up, if it is, but if it's not, you have to type it in. But yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you go through the whole thing. If you've already put it in the MLS, if I already put this information in the MLS, I can go in there and import the MLS data. I search by the MLS number. Then you ask you, how would you like your file to be named? I'll name it the address of the property. See, and then you start, it says, would you like to start with one of your templates? I have a seller template over here. Yes, let's start with that. Boom. I click that. And then the next thing I go down there, I click that, he applies it, it tells me, put your client's name on there, and boom, you just go. So it's super easy. And if you do it this way, all the templates will be there, and you can get all the paperwork signed by your clients by sending them to it. So like Manny was saying before, you don't have to even go back into Zip Forms to go find the forms, because you already have your forms and your templates in there. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So wrapping up, any questions, anything that you guys want us to go over before we wrap up? I want to try and make it not too long, so it's not too boring for you guys, and then we can make it really interactive. I hope we were able to discuss ways, to help you, generate leads. Just like Manny was saying, let me quickly reiterate the things that Manny was saying to us that we need to do to be able to generate leads. Go knock on doors, go prospect it, send videos out to your current clients, ask them for more business. Something that sounds like this. Hey, this is Jimmy. I just wanted to tell you, I really appreciate you, Manny, for letting me represent you while we're going on this journey. Could you please let me know 2 to 5 more families that I can help to accomplish the same thing? Send something that's simple, a 30-second video. I'm looking for 3 or 4 more families that I want to help before the end of this month. Send it out to, to people that you're already helping, people that you've helped, ask them for that business. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. You're doing a good job representing them. How would you like me to represent other friends and family members of yours that you think may want to buy or sell? The same way I've been taking care of you, I would love to be able to take care of other people as well. Because when you're confident about what you're doing and you're happy and excited that you're doing a good job for people, you can definitely ask them for more. And always, always remember to ask your clients to give you referrals, ask them to give you, a testimony, to give you a review. If you can do it, put a camera in front of them and say, do you mind? Let's do a quick 30-second recording of how the experience has been. And you don't have to wait till you close. You can do it after a good showing. You guys, you went to go show them a house and they're so happy and excited. Say, hey, do you mind doing a quick video for me, you and I together, 30 seconds for my Facebook post or for my own journal? Anything like that. If they say yes, boom, record it real quick. Put it in front of them, let them record and say, oh yeah, Sharice is an awesome agent. She was blah, 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 blah. Boom. Post that on your Facebook page. Destiny, boom, post that on your Twitter, on your Facebook page, your Instagram page. Do those things when they're excited, and that's how you continue to build and develop your business, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and better. Questions, answers, contributions?
One more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Purchasing leads. Do you have any suggestions or a company that you would prefer over another?
So this is actually a very touchy spot for me. I don't purchase leads. I hate purchasing leads, and there's a personal story behind it. I'm going to pause the record. I'm going to stop the recording before I answer that part. Before I go into that, it's not that I hate anybody or whatever. I just don't waste my money any longer. And I say it like that. Waste my money. Oh, I'm looking for the recording to stop recording. There you go. Stop recording? I think it's somewhere over here. That's okay, stop recording.